club, but it's also one that has the same people regardless.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Rome, he brought something to my attention like we haven't even seen the body of Epstein. So yeah, like, that raises a lot of red flags within itself.
Right.
So
Well, we don't normally see the corpses. I mean, we didn't even get to see Osama bin Laden's corpse because they dumped him at sea back in 2011. But people were saying for years that he was already dead after 2001, and that was complete bullshit because he was in Pakistan,
yeah.
being held in
Yeah, I
house,
remember that.
being held under house imprisonment because the Pakistani government had caught him, and they decided to try and use him as leverage against attacks from Al Qaeda to disrupt and overthrow their government. And then Obama,
Hmm.
because he was getting ready to run for re-election, decided he needed something to go ahead and jazz up his anti-terrorism credentials. So he ordered the raid into Pakistan to take out bin Laden, and then lied about it, which was a boneheaded maneuver. Seymour Hersh blew the lid on the actual events that he was executed while helpless, not going down fighting.
Right.
It's like all you have to do
Right.
is just fucking tell the truth, people, and you wouldn't have gotten the accusations.
Right.
But
Exactly.
even that wasn't enough to help Obama's chances of reelection because of all the people he fucked over and all the campaign promises he broke. He was running neck and neck with Mitt Romney at one point. And then Joe Biden made some kind of stupid public remark saying that, and this is one of the few times I'm going to say Biden did something unintentionally decent, which was to say, we need to evolve on gay marriage. And because Obama had spent 4 years screwing over the gay lobby, they were dropping monetary support because Hollywood does, yes, have a lot of influential gay people, producers, directors, actors who were saying, look, maybe we're just going to sit this one out. And he was running neck and neck with Romney, hence his so-called evolution on gay marriage, which was still a craven cop out because he said it should be a states' rights issue.
Right.
Well, if we took that to its conclusion, its logical conclusion, well, then if Obama had been president in 1860, we'd still have slavery because to him it would have been a states' rights issue,
Man. Damn, Mike, I might steal that from you, bro.
and we wouldn't have
That's a good
interracial
point. That's a good
marriage
point.
rights. We wouldn't have the right to vote
Yeah.
for people of color or for women because according to Obama's ideology, it's a states' rights issue. No, 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 no. That is not a states'
No.
rights issue. It's a constitutional issue because the Constitution and the rights that are laid out therein have to apply to everyone or they apply to no one.
Right.
So,
Right.
so that was the kind of bullshit that Obama was engaging in that almost cost him re-election in 2012.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
forget that, I
And
think.
and to be honest with you, Mike, if it wasn't for Mitt Romney, um, like blaming, I forgot exactly what he said, but he said those, he said something about the others or some shit like that. I think Romney probably would have had a shot to win. I forgot the exact quote,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. He was running pretty neck and neck at one point, and he barely squeaked by to re-election. I mean,
Yeah.
considering the percentage he won on in 2008 against McCain, which is a pretty low bar. But at that time, Howard Dean was chair of the Democrat National Committee, and
Yeah.
he was doing the 50 state strategy, which basically forced Democrats, drag them kicking and screaming into running hard in all 50 states, because up to that point they had been running a swing state only strategy, which allowed once reliably blue states to flip red well,
Yeah.
and basically allowed the Republicans to gain ground. So that had been a failing strategy that would have cost him not only 2006 but also 2008 as well. But Howard Dean was the chair, and he basically said, "Look, you're going to run in all 50 states, and you're going to run to win, or don't even fucking bother." And then after Obama won, they basically forced Howard Dean out as chair, and they lost the midterms, almost lost the White House in 2012.
Yeah.
and then infamously lost the White House in 2016 and would have lost in 2020 had the pandemic not happened.
Yeah, exactly. But Mike, what you think about this? I really think after 2024, after the debauchery with the Kamala campaign and all that shit, do you think? I mean, I don't want the Democrats to win, but like hypothetically speaking, I don't think the Democrats will win another major election in a long
They
time. Do you
won't.
agree with that?
They're not even trying to oppose Trump right now on anything that he's doing. That they have the numbers in the Senate to mount a filibuster, but they won't do it because they don't believe in the filibuster. They think that uh, the Republicans should be able to pass anything they want on a simple party line vote, and not even try to filibuster legislation that absolutely needs to be filibustered. Then they whine when they get into office and say, "Oh, we should get rid of the filibuster." It's like, you fucking morons! You keep saying how much you believe in democracy, which relies
Oh
on
shit.
substantive democratic debate.
Yeah.
Democracy is not simply 51 wolves deciding to eat the 49 lambs. No, it's the 49 lambs forcing a situation where the wolves have to give up on debating because they no longer have the energy because they've spent like 3 consecutive days trying to mount an argument and gave up after it was clear that they weren't going to win it. So, but that's how democracy works. It's messy. It requires work that people are not willing to put in, and they don't think about the long term consequences. So, they give this bullshit. Oh, how we need to get rid of the filibuster, but then when the Republicans are in charge and ramming legislation down where it absolutely needs to be blocked, they won't even try.
Right. Exactly, man.
And this is
Yeah.
why I say, the whole bullshit about the filibuster being designed to prevent uh, people from being heard. It's like, no, no, no. The filibuster is about being heard.
Yeah. 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 And one thing that get me about these people too, like when the big ugly bill passed, like a lot of the motherfuckers admit, like, hey, we don't read this shit. Hey, we just pass it on
Yeah,
through.
I know. I mean, how
We
many
got
Democrats voted to pass Trump's bill?
exactly.
All you
Oh
needed was
man.
just 41 Democrats to filibuster that bill. It would have died in the Senate, or force them to
Y-
pass it through reconciliation, which would have meant having an expiration date because apparently bills passed through reconciliation, you need to renew them.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like they don't but Mike, they don't want to win. Democrats, they agree
I,
with the Republicans, man. Like,
I mean, they
hey,
ended up because they
the tax
ended up
cut.
passing Obamacare on reconciliation anyway because they couldn't get around the Republican and Democrat filibuster.
Exactly. Like, I mean, the craziest thing is like the Democrats had 75 fucking days of majority, like they couldn't get well, they couldn't get universal health care. Like, that was public option, that's supposed to be the high bar, but the low bar, you got Romney care do debt conciliation. Like, yeah, that shows you who the Democrats really are.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people are just waking up to, like, they say, holy shit, like, we know the Republicans ain't fucking shit, but goddamn, these fucking Democrats, they don't give a fuck either.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. And Sandor
Uh,
says Democrats have their hands tied by the fact that they're always backed by corporations. Hard to be for the people when you're paid not to be. And
yeah,
no argument here.
100%. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, when Dennis Kucinich in 2010 tried to get a public option inserted into the bill, basically Obama summoned into Air Force One to threaten him with whatever he threatened him with to back the bill, and then they redrew Kucinich's uh, district out of existence and forced him to compete against right-wing extremist Marcy Kaptur in the newly drawn district, and he hasn't been able to get elected anywhere since.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do
Yep.
to actual liberals. In fact, let me see if I can upload a bit of media here because
Okay.
this is something that I've long maintained, and it's something that comes from a source that might surprise you. But let me see if I can find it in my files here. I'm trying to upload from my computer.
Okay. While he's finding the file, guys, be sure to like the video because we know we got 311 folks in here. So like the video, man. Do it. Yeah, so yeah. And also too, y'all, on the bottom of the screen, we have a merchandise store. So, buy a Caligula Drum t-shirt or buy a Ty Peasant t-shirt, or ATP Network t-shirt. The link is my ATP Network at myshopify.com. And speaking of that, I'll put it in the chat as well. So y'all can go there, you know.
Yeah, it's processing now, so I'll play it once it's ready. Just let me know when you're ready,
Okay.
Andre, and I'll go ahead and hit the play button on it.
All right. That's the link right there, guys, in the chat. So, yeah. So yeah, go there and support Mike, man. The Caligula Drum T-shirt, he get a profit on that. So, and same with Ty Pez and K Liz, she get a profit on her stuff too. So yeah, go there to that link. Yeah, Mike, I'm ready when you are, man. Whenever it
All right.
loads.
Man, did Maher nail it. He had a little, new rules segment at the end of his show, as he usually does. And he's been on the warpath for 2 weeks now on how Obama isn't being strong enough in pushing his agenda through because this is what we voted for. I couldn't agree more with him. I've said it on the show 100 times, right? But I thought he did a great job here of summarizing exactly what's wrong with not just how Obama's handling things for now, and he could get stronger, and of course Maher acknowledges that as well, but the state of American politics. So let's watch Bill Maher.
He's your president, not your boyfriend. Now, last week in this space, I criticized President Obama for not fighting corporate influence enough, and it made some liberals very angry. My phone rang off the hook, my email filled up, and Nancy Pelosi got so mad her face moved. Look, folks, I like Obama too. I'm just saying, let's not make it a religion. And as far as you folks on the right who think that we're now somehow in league, we're not in league. I was criticizing Obama for not being hard enough on the corporate douchebags you live to defend. I don't want to be on your team. Pick another kid. So I stand by my words, but there is another side to the story, and that is that every time Obama tries to take on a progressive cause, there's a major political party standing in his way, the Democrats. Now, people talk a lot about a third political party in America. We don't need a third party. We need a first party. You go to the polls, and your choices are the guy who voted for the first Wall Street bailout, or the guy who voted for the next 10. This week, we're hearing that a public option for health care is unlikely because it doesn't have the support of enough Democrats. Even Ted Kennedy's plan, Ted Kennedy, leaves 37 million uninsured. This is because we don't have a left and a right party in this country anymore. We have a center-right party and a crazy party. And over the last 30-odd years, Democrats have moved to the right, and the right has moved into a mental hospital. So what we have is one perfectly good party for hedge fund managers, credit card companies, banks, defense contractors, big agriculture, and the pharmaceutical lobby. That's the Democrats. And they sit across the aisle from a small group of religious lunatics, flat earthers, and Civil War reenactors who mostly communicate by AM radio and call themselves the Republicans, and who actually worry that Obama is a socialist. Socialist? He's not even a liberal. I know he's not, because he's on TV. And while I see Democrats on television, I don't see actual liberals. And if occasionally you do get to hear Ralph Nader, or Noam Chomsky, or Dennis Kucinich, they're treated like buffoons. Okay, these are not three of the world's most charismatic men, but then nobody's going to confuse Newt Gingrich for Zac Efron, and I have to look at his fat face on TV more often than that free credit report song. Shouldn't there be one party that unambiguously supports cutting the military budget? A party that is straight up in favor of gun control, gay marriage, higher taxes on the rich, universal health care, legalizing pot, and steep direct taxing of polluters. These aren't radical ideas. A majority of Americans are either already for them or would be if they were properly argued and defended. And what we need is an actual progressive party to represent the millions of Americans who aren't being served by the Democrats. Because bottom line, Democrats are the new Republicans.
Yeah, and 15 years later, Bill Maher and Cenk Uygur have both become Republicans.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, man. Like, I never thought I would agree with Bill Maher or anything.
Yeah.
Like, holy
well, that was
shit.
2010 Bill Maher, before it became fashionable for him to,
Yeah.
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 He is still a massive douche.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
He'll
has been,
douche.
always will be. I mean, he was a douche back in the 1990s when he was doing Politically Incorrect, and then ABC canceled that because he said some things that embarrassed the network. But no, I mean, Bill Maher has always been like this limousine liberal who basically moves steadily to the extreme right. Because, like he said, Democrats have moved to the right, and the right has moved into a mental hospital, which is a way of saying that the Democrats have moved into a mental hospital.
Exactly.
Or basically like this: the Republicans are Nazis. The Democrats have become Republicans who want to be Nazis. So the Democrats basically have become wannabe Nazis like the Republicans.
Exactly.
I mean, they support a literal Nazi regime in Ukraine that they helped install in 2014 to destroy and balkanize Russia. And they're trying to do the same with China, using Taiwan as a proxy. In fact, I updated a website recently in the last week to go ahead and reflect that Taiwan is a province of China, not a nation unto itself. And my editing rights were taken away on the grounds that it was somehow offensive to people in Taiwan. Never mind that Taiwan is not even of one mind on the issue, and 84% of the population is Han Chinese. But damn. I was accused of vandalism and making offensive statements, which is dude, first of all, you're politicizing the issue by calling Taiwan a country unto itself, which is offensive to 1.5 billion Chinese people, including the 84% of Taiwanese who identify as Chinese or have Chinese ancestry.
Yeah.
And who would rather rejoin the mainland, but can't because the douchebag anti-communist government refuses to allow any dissent on the matter. It's like if you were to, let's say the situation was reversed and China was trying to peel Hawaii away from the United States using the growing independence movement in Hawaii to return it to its sovereign nation status. And there is one actually. And then the same people say, well, Taiwan is not Hawaii. Hawaii is a fully integrated state in the U.S. That doesn't mean willingly. There's still a contingent in Hawaii, and a growing one, that wants Hawaii to be Hawaii again and not part of the United States. But you wouldn't dare offend the United States by listing Hawaii as its own sovereign nation. But you're going to list Taiwan as a sovereign nation, even though literally no other country on earth recognizes it as a sovereign nation. Like United Nations Resolution 2758 says that the People's Republic of China is the legitimate sovereign government of all of China, including Taiwan.
Yeah.
And Taiwan is just a breakaway province that refuses to acknowledge its reality. And the United States, since the 1990s, has been stoking anti-China sentiment on the island and driving up separatist ideology.
Yep.
This is all a matter of record.
Yep. Exactly, Mike. Yeah. It's like, to me with Taiwan, man. It's like Yeah, like see, the United States want Taiwan to be its own country so they can like do what they do with other nations, just
Yeah, well, they want to use.
control.
They don't even care about Taiwan. They just want to use it as a proxy, like they've been doing with
Yeah,
Ukraine. But
yeah. That's what I mean.
again, China is in a position where it can take control of Taiwan if it needs to. It would rather not resort to military force, which is why it hasn't done it yet. But if you put it in the position where it does have to resort to military force, there is no fucking way that the United States is going to be able to protect Taiwan. It can't even get its fleet into range to launch fighters, because the moment it gets in range, Chinese missiles will sink the entire freaking fleet.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
if you think you're going to use the Philippines or Thailand or anything else to try and stage a, an attempt to destroy China by forcing it to fight a multi-front war, that's not going to happen either, because recently the U.S. was going to Japan and other Asian countries and saying, look, if we decide to launch a war against China, what are you going to do to back us up? And the answer apparently was, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
And you're right.
even Japan, which has been thoroughly cucked by the U.S. since 1945, is like,
Yeah.
we're rethinking our relationship with you.
About damn time, to be honest with you, man. Like you
Yeah.
that the same motherfuckers that destroyed your two cities, Hiroshima and the other one. Damn, I forgot. But and now you've been cucked to them for all this time. Like fuck that. Hell, I've been in cut ties with the U.S., man. To be honest with you, and Senator Wright, he said the U.S. wants silicon chips that Taiwan produces. Yeah, that's what it is too. Yeah, that's what I'll get to. And Mike Wright, like, yeah, they want to use it as a proxy for China. So yeah, man. Like us, So what's I mean, like, what's your like? We kind of all expect what's going to be the outcome of the Handala, but what's your thoughts on that, real quick?
Well, here's the thing: China is winning the chip war. Uh, the reason it's winning the chip war has to do with the basic reality that it because it was cut off from U.S. Technology, it had to really kind of invest in building up its own. And now China is basically pulling ahead with chips that are at least as good as anything that we're producing, in some cases maybe better. And
Right.
now we're in a position where even if somehow we were to get some kind of chip deal, it won't matter because we're too far behind.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
instead of actually doing shit, we actually rested on our laurels, kind of like the tortoise and the hare, where the hare
Yeah.
got cocky and decided, I'm just going to take a nap. And by the time he woke up, the tortoise had pulled so far ahead that he just wasn't going to be able to win the race.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the U.S. is a tortoise. I mean,
Yeah.
not the tortoise. The U.S. is a hare
The
to
hair.
the
Yeah.
Chinese tortoise.
Yeah. Exactly. And the only reason the United States mad at China because they producing stuff and innovating stuff. Well, that was you get when you outsource jobs. Like we could have been the world leader in shit. Like we could have high speed rail. We could have had nice airports and nice infrastructure. But no, we just chose, like you said, we chose to basically sit on our ass and
Yeah,
just
necessity really is the mother of invention. And
Mm-hmm.
when you put a country in the position where it has to make do with what it has, it's going to get really inventive with what it has. And that's what China's been doing. That's what Russia's been doing. Places like Brazil, Venezuela, Cuba, that they've had to. I mean, Cuba built up its medical services industry to the point where, because it was isolated from the United States and kept under blockade, it had to focus on building up its own infrastructure and its own institutions, to the point where now Cuba sends its doctors abroad to train other people in other countries on how to do medicine.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we
That's
privatized
true.
our medical industry, and as a result, we're one of the worst countries on earth for
Yeah.
quality of healthcare.
And also think about this too. Like China has a cure for diabetes. Like they
Yeah,
way
it's like
ahead of us.
yeah, and improved cancer treatments. They've
Yeah,
repurposed HIV drugs to treat SARS-CoV-2, although because it keeps mutating, that's something you're going to have to stay ahead of. But it's really it's really at the point where, I mean, the United States doesn't even think about the next 59 years. It thinks about the last 59 years. It's stuck in 1995, while China's like,
yeah.
yeah. Although the one thing I will say about China, based on one of the travel channels that I watch on YouTube, is that they do have a tendency to tear down structures that are centuries or even thousands of years old to put up new ones. And well, I can see because they're basically a little bit too practical, I want to say, for their own historical good. Because when you tear down structures that might still be sound, but I mean, if it's dangerous and can't and is it safe, that's one thing.
Right.
But you're also losing a bit of your cultural history and your heritage when you tear these structures down and don't try to do anything to preserve them. Uh, at the very least, I think you should try and make it as exact a replica of it as possible, so that it's structurally sound and safe while still maintaining that history. That's just my opinion. Of course, take it or leave it. Um, but because I'm not Chinese, I don't think like Chinese people do. I'm sure they've got reasons for why they do some of the things they do. Um, but I'm of the opinion that those who forget history are doomed to repeat it, and so you really should make an effort to not repeat it.
Yeah, yeah. Preserving history is important. Yeah, like maybe they should like make a big, huge museum or something. But yeah, you got a good point though. And also too, like our internet speeds compared to China and Japan. Like I think Japan hit terabytes or something like that, terabits per
Yeah,
second. Like when we still stuck at what one megabit per second or something
one
like that. Yeah,
gigabyte. Yeah,
1 gigabyte per second. Yeah, 1 gigabyte per second. Like bro, like we behind. Like we way behind. Like yeah, you're right, Mike. We stuck in 1959. I mean 1995. Like
yeah.
it's yeah.
It's really pathetic. Although not quite as pathetic as the guy who caught you an assistant manager.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
saw
you
that
saw that?
tweet that you sent me, and I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't know if you want to show this on your on the
Uh,
screen, but
I
yeah,
gotta find it.
yeah.
Hold on.
Timmy is saying, yeah, because you sent it to me in DM on Twitter. Uh,
Hold on. Yeah. I can't, man. Oh boy. Yeah.
I mean, you want
Yeah.
to talk about pathetic?
Like,
I
yeah.
mean, I finally muted this boy because he's just so freaking annoying. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I need to mute him my damn self. Um, yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it up right quick. Uh, yeah, man. It's insane. Um, let me see. Uh, yeah, let me pull it up, man. It's oh my God. Let me see. Here we go. Pull up right now. Yeah. Yeah, man. He said, "Bro, you're just a little assistant manager for Mike's Eagle trip, and judging by your little roast, it's evident that neither you nor Mike know how to debate. It's obvious who controls conversations and narratives on your insignificant show. That's not you."
dude, I'm hardly ever on the show. What the fuck? And it's your show. You're just letting me on it, okay? You're the manager. I'm not even an assistant manager, okay?
Oh man, yeah, I need to mute this cuck, this little punk ass
Oh yeah,
motherfucker,
yeah.
man.
And this was in response to you challenging him to come on the show and so that you can debate him.
Yeah, yeah,
I
like
mean,
you
this boy
talking
doesn't
all
even
that
know how to
shit.
debate. All right. I mean,
Yeah, like you talk all that shit, about it started with the Goldilocks and the Three Bears or something like that, and I'm like,
yeah,
hey, I'm getting
all because I went ahead and called bullshit on someone's narrative about calling Goldilocks and the Three Bears a white supremacist narrative. It's like, Dude, I'm a literal history major. I have my master's in history, and the medieval period and a lot of the stories that come out of it is one of my passions. And if you go back to the original tale of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, she starts off as an old woman, and a mean one at that, who's pissed off because the bears, in her mind, were stepping out of their station. And they gave her comeuppance first by yeeting her off of a church steeple. And then when that failed to finish the job, they tried to burn her and drown her. And then finally she ended up exiled. So I don't know. And then, of course, it morphed over time because they were like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be doing old woman because of the witch thing. So, it morphed into first a silver-haired girl and then Goldilocks. But even the modern version of the tale, she runs away and is so scared to go back that she never sets foot in the forest again. So she never bothers anyone there.
Exactly.
I mean, how is that getting away without any consequences? And you want to call that a white supremacist story? If anything, it's about a white girl who suffers consequences.
Yeah.
She's literally chased out of the place she invaded and never goes back.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Did you want her to get... I mean, did you want the original version of the tale back where she's an old woman who gets yeeted off a church steeple? Will that satisfy you?
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't mind having that back because it is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because the cartoons you can make out of that would be priceless. But
yeah, South Park need to make one
but
like
seriously,
that.
You can, and then if you criticize people for calling Cleopatra black when she was clearly an inbred Greek from a racist Greek dynasty that had conquered Egypt centuries before, and you're ignoring actual Nubian queens like the Queen of Kush, who actually repelled Roman invasion of her kingdom and lost an eye in the process, and ended up taking the statue of Julius Caesar and burying it under the steps to her temple so that people would be stepping over it every time they walked in and out. I mean, talk about some major ownage of the Romans there, okay? You're ignoring that story, which is a far better example of black Africans, giving comeuppance to white invaders. But you want to take the story of Cleopatra, which is about a white inbred who tried to play both sides in a civil war and lost.
Yeah.
Right. She didn't even speak Egyptian. She spoke Greek.
Oh my God.
And Latin, obviously, but I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, if you're going to try and reclaim African heritage, reclaim African heritage, not Greek. Don't try to appropriate Greek heritage, because two wrongs don't make a right. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this, it's amounts to putting people in blackface historically just so you can get a win. It's like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you think putting people in blackface accomplishes. I mean, it didn't do anything for Amos and Andy, although it did have actual black actors in it, but the main guy was a white guy in blackface, which was highly offensive stereotype.
Right.
But, but it's the historical version of doing that. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, Mike, man, like you and Timmy going to debate, man. Oh my God, man.
He would get his ass handed to him, all right? I mean, the guy can't even spell the word peace or correct it by putting up a new profile picture. It's like, surely you saved the Photoshop files so that you could correct the spelling or make a new one, if you feel the need to update your profile picture. But yeah, so they can say, look, she did bang powerful men. She had game. Well, that's true. She did bang Julius Caesar and have some of its kids. She also had kids with Mark Antony. But it's so they can look and say, look, we built the pyramids. Well, yes. I mean, it's not that Egypt didn't have black people, especially in the South. But, Egypt, much like the rest of North Africa, was a multi-ethnic society because of various invasions and migrations, and people coming in from Persia, the Levant, parts of Southern Europe and the Mediterranean, colonized North Africa at various points. So I mean, you did have black Africans there, but but it wasn't just black Africans in there. By the time you get to the later Egyptian kingdom and Roman occupation, uh, the Egyptians and North Africans at that time would have looked very similar to today's Arabs.
Yeah.
Maybe a shade or two darker, but still definitely not, black African. And it doesn't mean that they were necessarily white. I'm just saying, that's the reality. Okay. And trying to rewrite history to try and
satisfy you. Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, it's like, how do you try to rewrite history because you're ignoring actual history, like the Queen of Kush and sub-Saharan African history that I think, should be discussed more and should be promoted more, because, we don't get nearly enough of that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, man, like I can't wait to see this new Superman movie that's coming out. I mean, that's already out. I posted it
I've
last
heard
week, but
mixed
something
reviews
came up.
about it, although, they're more positive than negative, but definitely mixed reviews. I think one of the main complaints is that there were too many characters, too many ingredients in the soup, and then
Yeah.
action was so fast paced that you couldn't take time to digest what was going on. And conversely, the new Fantastic Four movie that just released, people are saying it's actually a lot better than initial fears over the trailers indicated, because you actually do get those moments where you can kind of take time in and kind of absorb what you've been watching.
Right.
Although it
Okay.
still has its problems. People have said, there were moments that seemed to be missing out that would have given some of the characters, in particular the Silver Surfer and Johnny Storm, a bit more character development and growth. So yeah, Superman is rustling the chimneys. The Jimmys, yeah. Well, interesting you mentioned Jimmy Olsen, because he actually plays a role in the new Superman movie, whereas in Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Oh my God, talk about one of the most joke-worthy titles. Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Oh my God. So, but there was a scene in there that got cut from the theatrical release that explained that the one cameraman who got brutally murdered in that movie was actually Jimmy Olsen, and he was a CIA operative. It's like, if you need a novelization or an extended cut to explain that, you made a bad movie, because otherwise he's just some rando who gets killed and Superman takes the fall for it. But yeah, perpetual version Ben Shapiro is very upset at the new Superman.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Nobody gives a shit about right-wing feelings.
Yeah.
Facts don't care about right-wing feelings. Human beings don't care about right-wing feelings. Ben Shapiro is one of the biggest cucks on the planet. He's yet to be laid. Grew himself a rubbish beard. Pretends that his kids are actually his own, and saying, "Yeah, my kids are definitely mine, and I've got the DNA test to prove it." Ben, you might want to think about that statement there. If you have to get a paternity test to prove that your kids were yours.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, no, sorry, Ben, but your kids aren't 1/16 black on their mother's side. No, she was.
Oh goodness.
It's like she actually got a real man.
Yeah. Yeah. He can't take getting this like that, Mike. If you.
It's like, what do you mean our kids weren't conceived through immaculate conception?
Oh my God. Yeah. I think most of these right-wing hacks, man, I think they're closeted, anyway. So
a lot of them are, actually. I mean, take a look at Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterless or I mean, these are guys you just know are fucking closeted. I mean, it's like, dude, come on, who the fuck? And then Nick Adams, arguably one of the most closeted right wingers on the face of the planet, constantly trying to reaffirm his masculinity by hyping all the manly things he does with other men. Just got appointed to a post in Malaysia, I think it was. It's like, okay, Timmy, yeah, we get it. You got your dream job of being a professional sex tourist under the Trump regime. Malaysia doesn't fuck around, dude. If they catch you mongering around over there, they will fuck you up.
I believe it. Oh yeah, I believe it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I would
Nicky Boy is gonna go cruising for Malaysian lady boys, and
exactly,
he's gonna get his ass handed to him.
exactly. Also to y'all, shameless plug, support in the comment section, support my boy Mike. He's trying to raise funds, until he found a job. And also I might as well share the screen too as well. Hit up, if you got a bone to spare, anything helps, man, even sharing it, I know
Yeah,
400.
share the link if you can donate even $1 or $2. That would help because then I would have something in my bank account to pay my bills,
Yeah.
and because I've got my phone bill that I've got to stay current on. I need groceries and all while I'm trying to complete my TEFL certification. Because I've been getting help with my resume so that I can tweak it to meet ATS standards, but that just is still tough because you're competing with like 50 to 100 different other people
Right.
for ghost jobs that are basically meant just to make it look like the company is hiring when it's really not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And he said Benny Johnson is deeply closeted, man. You can't convince me otherwise. Oh yeah, yeah.
I would
I
believe
can't.
it.
Yeah, I believe it too.
I
Definitely,
would
I
believe
believe
it.
it. Um,
Yeah, and if Andrew Tate hadn't been caught being a serial rapist and sex trafficker, I would say that he's a perpetual virgin too. But unfortunately, you can't really say that because he's been caught, and he even boasted about being a sex trafficker, which is one of the reasons why he got himself in Romanian prison where they don't fuck around.
oh no. Yeah.
The only reason he's even out now is because Caligula threatened Romania if it didn't let him loose, and he tried coming to the United States, and Florida wanted his ass.
Yeah.
So he had to flee Florida.
Damn. Damn, man. That's something when Florida don't want
I mean,
you,
if even
man.
Ron
God damn.
DeSantis wants to put you in prison,
I know. That's wow. That's a shit. That even a low bar, man. Like holy shit. Oh man.
you got to
So
be pretty fucking evil even for a right winger if Ron DeSantis wants you in prison.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Some fast hitters, then we can head on out, Mike. The Handala, we all know that the IOF captured it. Like, I mean, I expected that to happen because
Well,
it
yeah, I
happened
mean,
before.
they were never going to let it get anywhere close to Gaza. I'm really fearful for the crew there because unlike Greta Thunberg, who is a major figure around the world, she's a white girl who's a face of an environmental movement and photogenic. But Christian Smalls doesn't have nearly the fame that she does, and he's a black man. So, Israel might decide,
Yeah.
well, you know what, we can do things to him that we never could have gotten away with doing to Greta Thunberg without any consequences. So that's
Right.
my biggest fear.
And yeah, man, and man, I forgot to talk about with you, AOC, man. Like AOC really shitted the bed this time, man. Like,
Oh my god,
like
dude!
just
How the
admit you
fuck?
fucked up.
Yeah, it's like how the fuck do you let Marjorie Taylor Greene of all people outflank you on sending money and weapons to Israel to carry out its genocide?
Oh Jesus Christ,
This is
man.
why this is why Nick and the others at RBN call Democrats so deeply unserious because they waste no opportunity at all to make clear that they would rather be seen as extreme right wing than I mean
like, yeah, it's just, oh boy, like,
unrecognized.
damn.
You literally voted against an amendment to strip funding for the Iron Dome, which is an offensive weapon.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah. Like, I I mean, like,
I
damn,
mean,
like
half-assed stunt.
you could,
And don't get me wrong, Marjorie Taylor Greene's stunt was just that.
it
But you
was
let her get ahead
100%.
of you and come out looking better than you did, Ocasio-Cortez, on an issue that has a lot of Americans upset to the point that they literally stayed home and refused to vote for a genocidal maniac who campaigned on the promise to arm and fund Israel even more and cost
Yeah.
your party the election. And you're going to double down on that bullshit just because you don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene either.
Me either. Same. Yeah, me
But
three.
I'm not going to let her get ahead of me. I mean, you could have introduced your own amendment
Yeah.
and dared her to back it. You could have
Forced the
done
vote.
that. You didn't.
Forced the vote. Like, she basically just forced the vote. Like, what they
Yeah.
fucking failed to do 4 years ago. So, I mean, like, yeah, like if she trying to run for president or not, like, yeah, like, I think this is it, man. I don't think she's gonna get
Yeah.
past the
I don't think
primaries.
she's even going to win a Senate race against Chucky Schumer.
Me either.
It's like,
A
forget
lot of
it. Her chances of running are cooked. Okay, in a race in which Zohran Mamdani, and don't get me wrong, he's still got an uphill battle right now. I think the only thing that could help him win the election in November is if Cuomo and Adams blow it, and it looks like they're trying to blow it because the ads that they're putting
100%.
out make them so clueless and out of touch that. Yeah, and Holly, unfortunately, you're right. Why the fuck are Democrats putting us into the position where we have to find ourselves in agreement with Republicans?
Exactly, man.
I will
Exactly.
never
Like,
fucking forgive you assholes for making me defend fucking Republicans.
I never thought I said Marjorie Taylor Greene is right. Like, that coming out my mouth makes me hurl. Like literally hurl,
Yeah.
man. Like, holy
Yeah,
fuck.
I mean, obviously, Taylor Greene is just a fascist, and this was a political stunt, but you still let her get away with that.
Exactly.
And you still let her come out looking better than you, Ocasio-Cortez.
Damn, son. And the saddest thing too, I live in her district now. So yeah, like, I mean, like, if I go to a
You have my
town hall, I can't. Yeah, like, I can't say, like, how dare you did the right thing and forced the vote to stop funding for the Iron Dome. Oh, like, I can't even do that. So
Yeah. Well,
like, fuck you,
are
LC.
Republicans even doing town halls anymore, or are they just hiding?
They're hiding now. Yeah, like, if I lived in her district, 2 or 3 months ago, I probably would have made one. But yeah, like, and one thing about that, like, you like, if you're a Republican, and obviously Elon at the time was in Doge, like you said, Mike Doge was cutting funding for, like, USAID and fucking Meals on Wheels and shit. Like, how can you have a town hall and defend it? Like, there's no way in hell you can defend, like, hey, cutting is
which
good.
is why Republicans stopped holding the town halls, because they knew they were about to cut the services that their constituents felt that they were entitled to. And if there's one thing that I've learned in my 30 years or more observing politics, it's that the worst thing you can do to a right winger is to deny him something that he thinks he's entitled to.
Right.
Like with the Epstein files, or because the whole opposition to the new, nothing to do with opposition to socialism, although that was a major component, but it was the idea that we don't want anything being done that might help black people or brown people.
Exactly. Right.
And so they would rather fuck themselves over than actually allow anything like welfare or food stamps or public education, because they think they're entitled to all those things just for being white. And now that's getting taken away from them too. And now they're bitching and complaining. And then the Epstein files, of course, they were denied those.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump is really stepping in it, and he may not care about his legacy because he's a lame duck.
Yeah.
But if he wants to, if he wants to continue ramming his agenda down the public's throat, he's going to have to keep his party's control of Congress. And right now, the only thing that's going to prevent that is the Democrats still doing nothing and not even running a viable campaign next year. They've got nobody really to be the face of their opposition because there is no opposition.
Yeah.
They're hoping that backlash to Republicans will result in a midterm sweep like happened in 2018, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Like, damn, like, like, I hate to say, I don't, obviously I'm post-duopoly, but the Democrats really have the ball in their court, but they gonna fucking miss and swing that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, they gonna miss so many times because they fucking feckless fucking cooks. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because Obama
Woo!
handed off his all those organizers to the Clintons. Basically, he could have set the tone within the Democrat Party to support his faction, but he chose to say, "Nope, Clintons, you can have it all back. I don't care.
Yeah.
I got what I wanted. Fuck everyone else."
Yeah, I got my book deals. I got my deal with Netflix. Fuck that. I
Yeah.
got that
So,
ugly ass library that he
Yeah,
building.
they
Oh,
forced Howard
jeez.
Dean out, and I don't like Howard Dean at all. He's a conservative blowhard himself, but he was probably the best thing over the last 25 years to happen to the Democrat Party in terms of
Yeah.
getting, in terms of winning elections, and because up to that point, the Clintons had basically come to prominence in the late 80s and early 90s and took control of the Democrats, and they used the party as their own personal piggy bank and
Yeah.
money laundering operation, so that they could enrich themselves and implement their colonial overthrow projects in places like Haiti. But they let the party degrade to the point where it's like, yeah, we don't care if we win again. We just want to get ours and then fuck everyone else like every other boomer. So Obama came in really because Howard Dean was like, no, we're running hard in all 50 states. I don't give a shit. Whine all you want. You're going to have to actually work and win. And
Yeah.
as much as I detest him, I have to give credit where it's due and said, yeah, he turned the party around and turned it into an organization that was not only capable, but also inclined to win.
Exactly.
And the moment Obama got in, handed it right back to the Clintons and forced Dean out. It's like, I'm not shedding tears for Howard Dean, but are you really this fucking stupid? And then you wonder why you lose in 2016 and then barely won re-election in 2012.
Yeah. This guy says in a deposition, Epstein pleaded the fifth when asked if he and Trump socialized in events with underage girls. Trump said in times that if you plead the fifth, it's because you're guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
man.
and and the thing about this is that all these young women and underage girls, because we're talking like average between 14 and 19. I think it was the average age for a lot of the trafficking victims. Some of them were in their late teens, early 20s, but most of them were under the age of 18. So, I mean, they weren't exactly children, but they were adults. And you've got a whole section of the political elite whom Epstein ingratiated himself into and decided, yeah, I'm going to build up my own wealth and influence by trafficking teenage girls to these guys because I know they love it and I want the money and I want the ability to influence politicians on behalf of Israel. Now, I don't know if he was a Mossad agent. Something tells me probably not, because Israel would be boasting about it if he was.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of his loyalties, yeah, he was loyal to Israel, and he probably was, using his trafficking ring to buy influence, and probably blackmail people on behalf of Israel.
Mm-hmm. He says, in the name of Department of Justice, Tom Blanche, Trump's lawyer, or one more conflict of interest, met with Ghislaine. A pardon is coming if she exonerates Blanche's boss. What's your thought?
Possibly. It might be a situation, though, where much like happened under the Bush regime, where you had Dick Cheney's chief of staff. I forget his name, but he was the one who outed Valerie Plame Wilson as CIA in an attempt to discredit her husband over the uranium yellow cake lie that was peddled in the run up to the invasion of Iraq. And Bush, instead of giving him a full pardon, commuted his sentence so that, if he did anything that might embarrass the boss again, then, he could feasibly be sent back to prison.
Mm-hmm.
But not necessarily on that charge, but on other charges, because a full pardon would have, if it had been worded correctly, might have exonerated him. Not exonerated him, but would have protected him from further prosecution for anything that was related to that. So it might be a situation similar with that, where you've got Ghislaine Maxwell getting her sentence commuted, but they could still bring her up on other charges if they wanted to, whereas a full pardon, that might make it a little bit more difficult. Because much like the blanket pardon that Biden gave to himself and his son, as well as to certain others for at least 10 years, by which time Biden will be dead, obviously.
Right. It says Trump through Miss Universe, Casablancas and Brunel own model agencies with teenage girls and all world Jeffrey closest friend. Only one is alive. Okay, 2, Les Wexner, owner of Victoria's Secret. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got Trump's Calendar Girls Party, had one guest besides Trump, and I guess. Yeah. And then also Prince Andrew has been photographed.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Bill Clinton has been photographed receiving massages from Epstein's trafficking victims. JP Morgan Chase settled with Epstein's victims for $290 million. So how can this be a hoax? Deutsche Bank for $75 million.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No surprise here, man. Trust me. But we shall see in the coming days or weeks, man. Ghislaine actually speaks to Congress. So, all right, Mike. Any last words before we head out, man? I can't believe we got almost 550 people watching.
Yeah, that's
greatly
pretty
appreciate it. Yeah, that's great. Any last words?
Yes, please donate to my fundraiser.
Yes, I'm gonna put that back in the group chat below. Please do, guys.
Because I could really use some groceries and money to pay my phone bill.
Yeah. Mike gotta eat. You know.
And I think I just lost connection.
You there, Mike?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my connection dropped. I'm trying to do a network check.
Yeah. Let me go back to Holly Rowe. She says, I saw the Handala live stream. Yeah, I did a live stream yesterday. It was 22 minutes because by the time I started live streaming it, the IOF captured the keyboard. So yeah, appreciate you for watching it. She says, too scared to face people in halls. Yeah, hey, I tell them, she come back to her district. Like, I'm gonna, since people think I'm just an online head, I'm out there, putting in the work.
Just be careful because they probably have ICE agents over there, and they probably will deport any people of color who even attend the town halls. And they don't care if you're a citizen or not. They will ship you off to Alligator Alcatraz or off to El Salvador.
Yeah, but also too, Mike, like anybody that's doing what we doing for a living, or or standing up for Palestine or whatnot, or talking, or standing against the establishment or a deep state or whatnot, not Like they gonna come after us eventually anyway. So yeah, you're right. So all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching ATP Live. I appreciate Mike for hopping on at the last minute. And, I want to thank also thank too Hina Lotus for like pushing out our channel and stuff like that. And we building, trust the process. We're still very small, but thank you everybody for watching. So all right, Mike. See you on the next one.
Oh yeah. And Danny boy, because I know you're watching this, go suck yourself.
Man, he loved watching the ATP Network. Oh yeah, I think he's our
we
like
live rent free
secretive
in this
fan.
boy's brain. I swear.
Yes, we do, man. Holy shit. Yeah.
He's mad
All right,
because
Mike,
he can't be
man.
the one giving you orders.
He think you can basically control me like
Yeah, it's like, dude,
like
it's
Mike
your
has
stream, okay? I'm only on here at your discretion, all right? So
yeah like Mike, he does his own thing, I do my own thing, like Enos, he does her own thing. So yeah, like hey, nobody controls nobody. So yeah. Let me put the link in there again. Some reason my internet crapped out on me. So yeah, that's the link right there. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching ATP Live. I'm Andre, and he's Mike. And also donate, please. Donate to Mike. He really needs our help. And tomorrow, Mike, remind me, I'm gonna hit you up too. In a Cash App. So yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, Mike.
All right. Good night and good luck.
Yes, sir.